John Fedro with mobilehomeinvesting.net. And if you can look around me, I'm inside of a mobile home park. And this is a mobile home park that you can purchase. It's a mobile home park that I'm considering purchasing. All right, now I'm back in a completely different mobile home park, looking at a single individual mobile home for sale with Kathy right here. And now we're here in front of the whiteboard where we're going to go ahead and mark it up a bunch here in the very near future. Now you might be asking yourself, John, I know the differences between a mobile home park, it's an entire park, and an individual mobile home. And I don't want to make just an easy video for you. I want to go ahead and dive deep into about 25 different things where mobile homes and parks are kind of very similar and then kind of very different. And then you might be thinking, that you want to invest in both of these one day, or just start with one and then go to the other, or never start with one, and sort of let's talk about that. But first, before we jump into anything, if you've noticed behind me, it is not a brand new whiteboard, and yes, you are on the correct channel. I was waiting until it was almost completely unreadable before I went ahead and cleaned it off, and then now it is finally nice and new, not new, but clean. And let's appreciate this. Just take a couple of seconds and take in the newness. All right, now let's go ahead and mark it all up. Okay, we're back. That feels a lot better to me. There's more stuff on the board. Let's talk about it. Now, some of this is going to be blurred out, and we will reveal that as we go along. But let's talk about some of these, and then let's jump into what we're talking about. On the left-hand side, we can see mobile home parks. This is things I've noticed over the years, and then mobile homes, things I've noticed over the years. Some of this is going to be very obvious to you. We'll try to breeze past that. The other stuff might be a little bit more in-depth, and so we'll talk about that a little bit more. But the number of homes, obviously, with a mobile home park, you're getting a lot of mobile homes, or at least a lot of the lots. You might not buy any of the actual homes, but you're getting a lot of sources for income. Whereas with a mobile home, you're buying one or two mobile homes in a park at a time. And so you only get one or two typically. Sometimes you make deals with parks to get more than that, but typically one or two. The amount of money incoming, the profit, that's what we're talking about right there. It's much more with the mobile home park. Obviously, you're making money on the homes, on the land potentially as well, on the appreciation of everything, or, well, the appreciation is sort of here or there because it's a commercial property, and because the appreciation nowadays, especially in the last 10 years or so, mobile home parks have been hotter and hotter and hotter, so people are paying more for them. But with the mobile home, it's kind of the same thing there as well. Mobile homes, people are paying more for mobile homes today than they were 5 years ago or 10 years ago for that same mobile home. But when we're talking about cash flow, the monthly income for one mobile home is 300, 400, maybe 500. But with a park, it's much more than that, obviously. Kathy, tell me about the home.
So it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. I believe it's a 1998. I've got to double check that.
Okay.
The inside is in really good shape. The tub needs to be replaced in there.
Okay.
The tub is in there, it just needs to be replaced. Underneath the tub needs some pouring, and then there's one soft spot in there, and then the main issue is the graffiti out here. And there's a product called Gudron Graffiti, something like that.
Oh, that's a great tip.
That they said is really easily get the graffiti off of there.
So this does look a little scary from the outside with the graffiti. I think that would scare off some people.
Yeah.
But the inside, we can't get in right now. I don't know if that's a gang sign or if that's help. But let's go look in the windows. It's definitely a shorter looking home. Little animal feces in there. But besides that, things look good. I don't think that's coming through too well. It looks good. The carpet looks decent. Painted rooms. How much would you estimate for repairs?
$500.
500? Okay. For everything?
For everything.
Beautiful. So 6,500
Yep.
to close, 500 repairs. Talk to me about the exit numbers.
If I was going to go cash, I would list it for 15, and I would take 13.5. If I was going to list it on payments, I'd probably list it up near 18, 19.
On payments. 18, 19 on payments?
On payments.
Okay. What would be a reasonable move-in fee? for that price?
For that price, a couple grand. Yeah.
The outgoing expenses, again, I probably don't even have to say this. Yes, to own a park, to buy a park, to operate a park, you're going to be paying much more. I've heard somewhere, and this is just me regurgitating different articles and things I've read, but over $50,000, if that's you, you have over $50,000, you're thinking you might want to get into a mobile home park, that's sort of where that starting point people say, to have 50,000, and then that'll give you access to many opportunities, whether you're bank financing, whether owner financing. The days of getting a mobile home park with little to no money are not behind us, and I don't want to be a wet blanket at all, but you should maybe not assume that you're going to buy a mobile home park with no money down. Just the same thing with buying a mobile home. Don't assume that you're going to buy one for no money down. If you're investing for long enough, you'll absolutely find parks and homes for no money down. The reason they're no money down is because they probably need a lot of work, a lot of heavy lifting to get them both up and running right, whether it's a park or a home. Now this home is definitely vacant. Broken windows. And the inside doesn't look terrible. But this is a home that is definitely park owned. And that would come with the property. And this could be rented out. This could be sold on payments. This could be sold for cash after it's fixed up. The time for you as an investor, yeah, it depends. You can run a business like half of speed or full speed. Do you get partners to help you? Do you not? Do you just know that, okay, I'm going to build this, at my speed, at my rate that I'm able to do this? Or no, I want to, quit what I'm doing, my job, and just focus all on this. And also when you're buying a mobile home park, you're buying a pre-established business that should hopefully day one be making money. So you're not losing money with the mobile home park because you're buying a business. With the mobile home, it's usually empty, and we have to then fill it up with somebody that wants to pay us money. And then we'll make income and profit. So the time, it really depends. When I work with new folks, I encourage people to have 30, 40 hours a week in the beginning. After that, you can start to outsource more things after a handful of months. But in the beginning, you're building something from practically nothing. You're learning a ton, doing a ton. This does take time. Whether it's you doing it, whether it's a partner doing it, the time definitely depends for both of these. Again, just depending on how you're running your business. The availability, if you're buying in parks, you can go nationwide. If you have a manager there that is managing the park, knows what they're doing, you've trained them or they're already trained, if it's 30 or more spaces, that's typically when the mobile home park will justify paying for a full-time park manager. So if this is on the other side of the country from you and there's 10 mobile home spaces, that probably won't bring enough income for you to have a full-time manager there. And you probably want a full-time manager there if it's across the country. Having a part-time manager is great, but things happen in real time. So that's something to consider, the nationwide availability. And then for mobile homes, if you're buying the individual mobile homes, I'd say within a 2-hour radius. And even that's far. I mean, start local and then expand outward until you get to 2 hours eventually. So that's sort of the availability around you. But there's thousands of mobile home parks around the country. There's likely thousands of mobile homes around you, hundreds of parks, 100 plus parks, thousands of homes. Homes on land, homes in parks. Now, new skills and confidence. Obviously, yes, this business takes new skills, new confidence. You are leaning on discomfort every single day, or a lot of days you are uncomfortable. You're learning new things. You're putting yourself in not a comfortable situation. And that's where we grow a lot. That's where we do a lot. That's where we see a lot. And the next one is goals. I'm not going to tell you, what your goals are or not. Obviously, for mobile home parks, eventually you have goals for bigger paydays. Bottom line, you're putting in way more money, and on the outside, when you're leaving the deal, when you're selling everything, you should get way more money. But even the cash flow, when you build up a mobile home park, there should be 5 figures worth of income coming in, potentially monthly, depending on how many lots are there, versus if you're selling an individual mobile home, now you're building your way up to 4 figures of income, 5 figures of income eventually. But that takes a number of homes because you're buying them 1 or 2 at a time. And then when you sell mobile homes, like if we're just buying them, fixing them, and selling them, or wholesaling them, that's more like a 4-figure payday, 5-figure payday, maybe 10,000 or above. depending on the home that you sell. Licenses, it depends. With a mobile home park, you probably might not need a license because you're buying the complete park. It's a commercial property. If you start buying and selling the individual homes, then you may need a license depending on your state. You can click the link in the description below, which talks about mobile home dealer licenses state to state. And then if you are buying a mobile home in various states, each state typically has a mobile home housing association, and you can join that mobile home housing association. It's kind of for mobile home park owners and mobile homeowners, but the mobile home association in the state of the mobile home park. And then if you're buying the individual mobile homes, there's a number of folks around the country that are not licensed that are doing this, that are doing things ethically, not ethically, with the right paperwork, with the wrong paperwork, setting people up for success. They have no idea that they're doing things wrong. They have every idea they're doing things wrong. So there's a lot of people around the country investing in parks and mobile homes without the proper licenses. I'm sure that doesn't surprise you, as there's a lot of parks, there's a lot of people, and people kind of do somewhat of what they want. And there's pros and cons to that. Definitely, eventually, you want to get licensed the right thing that's in your state or wherever you're investing. Hurdles to overcome, duh, is what I put right there, because yes, obviously, that goes without saying. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome. If you don't want to overcome any hurdles, don't do this, or ask a lot more questions, or make sure that you know what you're getting into before you get into something like this. Hands-on, yes. Maybe you can do something that is not, maybe you can do this virtually. Maybe you can invest in mobile homes and mobile home parks virtually. That's not something that we typically do. Mobile homes are more likely, mobile home parks less. So your hands-on ability, at least in the beginning as well, yes, you can outsource it eventually, but my belief is that you should be very hands-on in the beginning. And that can mean moving to an area for a little bit of time. That can mean just going there once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week in the beginning when you own the property. And again, it depends. For mobile homes, you should be close by. For a mobile home park, you might be on the other side of the country, and that all has to be taken into account for. Third parties, this is an important one. When we're dealing with a mobile home inside of a pre-existing mobile home park, there's only really one person. There's a park manager. Yes, you can have insurance. A number of us do, some of us don't. You can have different employees if you want, or 1099. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But that's typically it for a mobile home in a park. It's the park manager. They're the one person that we kind of have to deal with and associate with. And they can be very, very good, and they can be less than good. But that's the person that we're typically dealing with. Third-party people that we have to deal with when we're buying a complete park. And you don't have to deal with these people, but you want to, or you're putting yourself in some kind of jeopardy, either illegal or just spending money or taking a lot of risk. We want to have a title company and an attorney and a realtor and a broker and an insurance person and a bank and an electrician and a plumber and a phase 1 person. And there's other people involved when you're buying this whole company, which is a mobile home park. So with third parties, there's a lot more to do with mobile home parks. Financing, some banks, yes. Private money, yes. That's if you're buying the park. Now, if you're buying an individual mobile home, there's programs for your end mobile home buyer. The person that's going to buy the home from you after you clean it up or fix it up. They're going to go to the bank and they can get a loan. Now, for you, you really aren't going to be able to do that, or you don't want to do that. You want to use either private money from a friend, from your own pocket, or you can use credit cards as well. But that's going to be for more of you as an investor. Credit needed. Yeah, substantially most likely. Even if you're doing owner financing, the seller's most likely going to want to see your credit worthiness, your income, much less with regards to credit, especially if the park manager knows that you're going to buy the home and resell it, which they should know that. They know that, okay, you're not the one completely footing the bill. So yes, your credit's important, but we also want to look at your criminal and who you are and how I like you and how responsive you are to the phone calls and how you've talked to me and that you know the rules, that you're never going to pull the home out. For income, that's about 3 times lot rent. Many parks want to see about 3 times lot rent. The risk, way more when it comes to mobile home parks, way less when it comes to individual mobile homes. Previous experience, no, you don't need previous experience doing either of these. And the reason I say that confidently is because I've seen this. And I've seen a lot of people get burned, but not a lot, not like tremendous amount of people, but I've seen a lot of people get in trouble, or I've heard after the fact of just bad stories happening. So do you need previous experience? No, you don't. Should you have that? Yes, but you can absolutely kind of learn as you go. It's called the School of Hard Knocks. Something I remember about setting goals with regards to previous experience, I think it was Tony Robbins that said, I don't quote many people, but I think it was Tony Robbins that said, set your goals in the future without the knowledge of how you're going to get there. You know, if you say, well, I want to buy mobile home parks, there's a lot of steps between where you are and where your goal is, where that particular goal is. And then there's something past there. But there's all those little steps. You might have to get licensed, you might have to meet the right people, you might have to raise a bunch of money or do something else. And you don't know that knowledge yet, but you will. So set your goals, you know, a little bit further out. Knowledge about specific mobile home parks, that is important. You don't have to have hands-on experience, but it helps. But you do need knowledge. So definitely knowledge is very important, and the same with mobile homes. Yeah, you just need a ton of knowledge. Now, here's something with mobile home knowledge. There's a lot, there's not a lot, I'm not gonna say that. There's more than I would have expected mobile home park, from the few mobile home park owners that I've met over the years, a number of them that have never actually owned a mobile home before they got into a park. Never owned a mobile home, really never lived in one, and then was buying this, you know, this business that revolves around mobile homes, never really being in a mobile home. Now, if you're just buying the mobile homes and that's your business, yeah, we need to know a lot about them because our sole income is coming from the mobile home, where here your income is not just coming from the mobile home, but the land as well. So it's a little bit more forgiving, you have more of a cushion, there's more income here. If one person doesn't pay here, that's a big hit. If one person doesn't pay here, that's less of a big hit because you have a lot of other people paying. So your knowledge about the home, not just the construction of it, the repairs, but also your buyers, who's out there, what are they looking for, what will people accept, what won't they accept, how much money is this going to make? Very important, you know, mobile home knowledge. Less if you're going to be buying the parks, but still, you want to know what you're buying. I mean, just because I'm saying you don't need a lot of mobile home experience to buy parks, still get a lot of mobile home experience. The more the better. Because this is you can spend a lot of money, you can waste money, you can spend money, you can leave a lot of money on the table. So there's always more to learn. And I know that, you know, the person watching my video, and if you've gotten this far, thank you so much. Clearly you have an interest, clearly you want to know more. So I will continue moving along. When it comes to employees, I'm not going to get into the legalities of a park manager that you have as a 1099 subcontractor, or if you're actually having them as an employee. If they get hurt, if there's workman's comp involved, they may look at that 1099 employee or subcontractor as an employee. But I guess just bottom line right here, you know, on this video, you are likely going to have an employee in a park. A lot less likely with a mobile home inside of a park. Until you have a lot of income or a bigger business, then you can hire on employees. Until then, you're definitely having people that you pay, handymen, bird dogs. But when it comes to a park, yeah, you're probably going to have employees eventually. Due diligence is going to be a few $1,000s with a mobile home park, or it should be, or at least in my opinion, if you're doing things right, it should be a few $1,000s, a few $100s or less when it comes to a mobile home. Closing costs, it depends, 2% or more, depending on if you have financing. And I'm saying closing costs are just sort of all closing fees wrapped in there, 2 to 5%. It depends, like if you're going through a bank, if you're not, if you're owner financing, if you're paying all cash. But with the mobile home park, it's going to be a lot. And then with a mobile home in a park, I wanted to say less than like a few hundred, but I did put 500 there to make it, if there's back taxes or any kind of fees like that, or back taxes rather, then that's going to be, make that go up. But that should come out of the seller's money, in my opinion. But to close on a mobile home in a park, just a few $100s or less in almost every state. And then time to close. Once you get the property under contract, 60 to 120 days, give or take, maybe a little bit less if you're paying cash, and then 1 or 0 to 10 days to close or less with a mobile home inside of a park. If you've been watching my video for any length of time, you know that when we sell a mobile home inside of a park on payments, I want you to get all of your money back that you've invested for the mobile home, for the acquisition, for the purchase price, for the holding cost, for the labor, material, for all of that, for marketing. I want you to get all that money back within 1 year or less. So 1 year or a lot less, that's when you're making all your money back with an individual mobile home. With the mobile home park, that's going to take much longer to do. So on a strictly kind of return on your capital, but then again, this is selling with the move-in fee. So we have to get, you know, a good size move-in fee, $2,000, $4,000, $6,000 as a move-in fee from our buyer, and that helps us collect all of our money in our first year. A mobile home park, you are not, and if you are, teach me. You are not making your money back typically in your first year, unless you've only put out like cash, like not $5, but you've only put a small amount of cash down or out for the mobile home park, then you're making your money back. But we buy the complete mobile home and we make all of our money back not day one, sometimes. But usually, you know, within the first year when we sell it. So a return on your money, mobile homes inside of parks are the winner, in my opinion. But for scalability and for the time that you have, and that the fact that these will eventually pay off, with this, you're owning the land forever and ever and ever. And plus you have some appreciation on the land, and here you're able to get in for so much less, and it's so much quicker, and you're dealing with so fewer people. So there's really no right or wrong. I don't know if there's a winner or a loser, and if you love one of these, you probably like the other one as well. And there's no right or wrong. The folks that I've helped buy a park that have started off as individual mobile home investors, it's because we're already having boots on the ground. Remember, within a 2-hour radius, if you're buying mobile homes in parks, I want you eventually to get out 2 hours, and you're going to know people. You're going to have a reputation. You meet the managers, you meet the sellers, you meet sometimes the park owners, and that's where you can find parks that are off market. And I've helped now less than a dozen people do that for their first park. So don't think that, okay, I'm going to get into mobile homes now and it's going to take me 3 years is my plan. And that's a good plan to get into your first park. But if you're getting into mobile homes now, your first park might not be as far away as you think, because we don't know what is around that corner. Yes, we know what we're looking for, but we don't know what sellers are out there, what people are looking for us. You know, you're trustworthy, you're willing to put in the time and the effort, and you have some credit and you have some capital and you have the access to find this. And if you don't now, then you will. So I'm not sure if there's actually a winner or a loser, but I hope that this video all made sense. Hope it wasn't me just rambling for the last 15 minutes. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, I'm spitting a little bit. If you have any questions, you can always reach me at support@mobilehomeinvesting.net, at support@mobilehomeinvesting.net. If you have any questions at all about mobile homes, or you can also check out mobilehomeinvesting.net, which is a great instructional website for mobile homes. I might be a little biased with that. But if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.